Hello, welcome. My name is Julie, and this is a pick a reflection, meaning I'm going to be offering you information to reflect on. You use your own intuition to decide if one or more of these has information for you to reflect on. It'll be 3 readings. Remember, they're general, so they're meant to cover the group of people, the collective of people who choose each one. So only take what resonates as truth for you. What feels like a remembrance and what is helpful to you is what it's meant for you. Okay? And let's get started with let's tell you first that this is pick number 1, pick number 2, and pick number 3. You can pause if you need more time. And we're going to get started with pick number 1. This is the jet stone. I don't know if you are familiar with jet, but it's very light. It feels like I could just no, I can't scrape it with my fingernail, but yeah, it's very, very light stone. Okay. Now, I have already started to deal out the cards. I don't know if we'll need any more, but I've got a pile here. So let's dig in. First, we got this impression versus expression. And this card talks about the need to be aware of who you're expressing to. Like, does this person want to understand me? How deeply can they receive what I'm sharing? The impression you get from their level of attention versus how you express. There's something delicate about this. It's like there may be a need to censor yourself and not share everything in some cases. And there may be a need to withhold information from certain people at times. Here's the clear oracle. I haven't used this one in a while. This is deadline, ambition. So maybe you've been feeling really pushed. Creative. The rainbow bridge. And hurt. Hurt, I believe, is tying into the expression thing. So maybe there was something that someone else expressed to you or that you needed to express and it came through in some sort of hurtful manner. Maybe the way that you're expressing yourself is hurtful at times to some people. And these could be totally separate from the fact that you're feeling ambitious and feeling pressed to a deadline and wanting to utilize creative energy. Okay? Summer's coming to an end, but it looks like that's where you're trying to achieve your goals in the summertime. Your marriage is highlighted here. So we may talk about some aspects of marriage in this reading. We can ask about it at some point if we need to. And your love life is improving for the better. I think your love life is improving when you make these changes about the way you express yourself. Yes, 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 yes. And it's vital now. It feels pressing now. Summertime. It's summer now when I'm recording this. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, it's meant for you. But think of summertime being the time when I'm recording. It means it feels like it's a pressing thing. Like, this needs your attention now. Yeah, there's some sort of survival way of being that might be interfering with things. Some sort of inner impulse that's just sort of like a reaction, maybe. But it seems like this is the person who were meant to work this out with, right? Like, first of all, we have relationships with people, and through those relationships we learn things about ourselves. We learn where we have room to grow, and we learn what our shadows are. And so it seems that this marriage partner of yours is someone who agreed to help you see this about yourself. Innocence. Free yourself of guilt and shame. So if there's a part of you that hasn't wanted to deal with this, it's probably a part of you that feels it feels like they don't want to own guilt or shame that goes along with being that thing that you don't want to be. Well, to free yourself of guilt and shame, first of all, let yourself feel guilty, let yourself feel shameful, and be the person who can love yourself through those things. Now, what happens when you do that is you kind of shift, because guilt and shame don't seem like an awful thing when you can accept them and be present with them in yourself. Okay, they can't hold you back anymore. And choose your priorities and eliminate all distractions. Yeah, this needs your focus now. This is important. This is going to start kind of really getting louder and louder if you don't put your ambitious focus onto this. Yeah, there are heavy burdens, quarrels, there's a disagreement all around this issue. You may have an uncle, cousin, friend who's helpful and kind and has the knowledge to help you and assist you through this, or can hold space for you, can see this in you. Also, if you can have a friend or somebody who loves you unconditionally witness you in this, shame cannot survive an open heart. So someone who loves you unconditionally through this, who doesn't have their own wound that it's pressing on, who doesn't take offense, they can kind of melt away that shame for you by witnessing you. So if someone comes to mind that you can share with or get together with and sort of like be witnessed in this, that might be very helpful. Juggling resources, waiting on results. Daydreaming, wishful thinking, choices. So you may be feeling like, this is going to go away with your focus elsewhere, right? Or, but this is kind of pointing that you kind of really have to go at this directly. And there are some new insights and realizations that you'll have during the process of digging into it. What needs to be said? Will you forgive me? What needs to be said? Let's find the better way to do this. I know there's a better way to do this. I know I can find my way. What needs to be said? We're mirroring each other. There's something here for both of us to see in the reflection of each other. This is the twin energy. And power. There are power struggles in the relating dynamic that currently exists. And that's why it's uncomfortable. And that's why it's not sustainable. And that's why it needs to be addressed right away. Okay, so some things that might be helpful. To do some making music. That's in that receptive mode. Know that this problem is already resolved. You just need to line up with it. And a new location might also be beneficial for you. And if you're not moving, it's like change something about where you're having these kind of interactions. You know, like we talked about being sensitive to who was there and how receptive they were. Like, these aren't public kind of conversations that are going to be had, right? Guarded and protected. You have what it takes to move through this. Be gentle with yourself. This is not time to beat yourself up. You are innocent. You have done nothing wrong. You are learning something about human behavior. In order to know what we do want, we have to know what we don't want. Lead on God and the angels for support. So ask your higher power, ask your highest self, ask your angels for assistance. We've got communicate openly. I love all these cards coming together in this flow state. So synchronistic, but I guess I wouldn't expect anything less. Shapes and colors and sizes, meaning this card talks about just like a full acceptance for however things are. Like we're not supposed to be molding people to our expectations. We're not even going to want to have expectations of people going forward. We're going to go into each experience with the innocence and curiosity of a child, having no expectations of the other and no attachment to the outcome. We allow people to be who they are, and we be who we are, and we interact, and we decide if we want to keep interacting based on those things. Diamond in the rough. So there's something that's being polished here. There's a lot of pressure, right? What happens to coal, which this kind of feels like coal, just to be honest. What happens to coal under pressure turns into a diamond. So that pressure is going to assist you. You wouldn't pay attention to this if there wasn't so much pressure, right? If there wasn't a lot at stake. Yeah, something is changing. You may feel torn. You may feel like there's some sort of decision to make. But don't make the decision, because first you want to have a communication that is clear and fair and of a higher vibration. There's a part of you that won't come through this, and you'll leave behind a part of you that used to act in these situations. And this may be very stressful and burdensome at this time, but you are meant to come through it. So let go of what is no longer working. Accept what is, then let go of what no longer is working. Surrender control. Control is something that where we use power struggles. You have no control in this situation, meaning you don't have control of the outcome. You are not trying to coerce somebody. You're trying to have expression that is open but also caring. It cares about how what you're saying is received. Fourth house, this is happening around the home, and we did have new locations, so if it needs to happen at home because it's been happening in public, make sure that's the case. But also your reputation and public standing could be affected. This is a preventative measure, okay? Meaning things are going to get louder and harder if it's not addressed now. This is a preventative measure. And possibility. So whatever it is that you're trying to decide, both are possibilities. And you can use divination to help you and guide you in this. Okay? Actually, I know exactly why it's saying that. It's because I have this fair relating reflection deck, and I'm selling it in my website, or through my website, and this deck is amazing. It has helped me so much because I've taken all the power struggles out of relating. And when I'm, when I'm still kind of like in a program and I'm activated in a program and I can't see clearly, but I know how I want to bring it to that highest level of relationship, I can use these cards to remind me so that I don't act in ways that I don't intend to. And these cards have helped me a lot. And now I don't really need them as much when I'm in those difficult positions because I've already practiced, But here's some advice for you and some examples of what these cards can help you with. There's 66 of them now, but what need or want are you trying to fill right now? Be that. So in a difficult moment with your spouse, what need or want are you trying to fill right now for yourself? Why are you saying this thing? Why are you holding back? Why are you expressing? Whatever it is. What is it that you're trying to fill for yourself? And then be that for yourself. So I'm trying to feel like I'm respected. Okay, then respect yourself. Respect yourself enough to not try to control somebody else. Oh, interesting. As I looked down to get that card, I noticed there's something else here. Reputation. Yes, we did say that your reputation would be affected. So maybe this has happened in public. Maybe you've been seen communicating in a way that hasn't been as effective as you'd like it to be. Okay, so others will also notice this change, and it's important for them to notice, right? You are an example to others. Look, it says book a session. That card comes out when it'll benefit you from having somebody else to talk to. You can book a session with me. I can help you with this stuff, but also anyone that you trust. And we talked about that in the cards over there. Having someone outside of yourself at this point could be very helpful to witness you and hold space for you. Ask for what you want, right? So instead of like nagging your husband to do a chore for you because you want that, you feel like that will make that you feel like they value you, just say to them, I really need some reassurance that I'm important to you. I really need some reassurance that I matter to you. Ask for what you want, what you actually want, right? So this is a more direct, a higher vibrational way of communicating, and this is what you're being invited to. Interesting throat chakra attack right there, and this is what you are an example of. And there may be a need to part ways. Okay? So even in a parting of ways, it can be done in a higher vibrational way, right? It doesn't have to be fighting or whatever. And it could just mean to spend time apart, although there is a card like that in here. So when part ways comes out, it usually does mean part ways. So you may need to cut the cords between you. And I'm not saying to end a marriage. A marriage is a very important bond that shouldn't be taken lightly. So think about this. What it could imply? What do you need to part ways with? I'm going to ask if there's anything else. Use your intuition. So maybe you've already been feeling something. Allow the experience to impress upon you instead of impressing your will. And be present. So through all of it, whatever it feels like, be present. Be with the part of you who feels whatever you feel, so that you're not locking in any patterns of energy that need to be resolved later and lived out again. Okay, so I really didn't expect this to go in the parting ways, but now I'm seeing free yourself. There's new insights. There's a choice. This could be the choice that you've been deciding that you don't want to make. something is changing here. Okay? So definitely get yourself some cards or get a reading that's personal before you take this, because this is general, right? Only take what is useful and helpful to you. And this is just information to reflect on. So I hope it's helpful to you. I trust that parts of it will be, at least, and maybe all of it for some of you. And I'm going to end your reading there. Hello, pick 2. What do we have here? The Empress in reverse. The Star in reverse. The King of Wands. And the Ten of Cups in reverse. Trying to resolve something that feels stuck, but you know there is a solution, you know there is a way. I think you are determined to find a way through whatever this is, to a healing and to fulfillment, to victory. Let's see what else. This may involve a friend. You may be sort of like celebrating or having fun or living it up a little bit while you can't fully resolve this thing, to maybe like distract yourself or pass time. You may feel on guard. You know, you could be feeling defensive as well, because there's something that needs to be healed, and it's perhaps your feminine energy. Your feminine energy may need some healing, so some presence, some acceptance. Yes. You feel a mild dissatisfaction. Like, I think you're happy to go along with life, but it's in a shallow manner. You're not living to the depths that you know is available to you. So this is causing you to reassess things, perhaps even have a turning point. There may be an inheritance. The inheritance could be the way that you're operating with feminine energy, right? It could be passed along to you as a result of the feminines that came before you. That you may have even suffered a great loss of a feminine in your life. I think you're trying to see the way. I think that you are well intended. So surrender to divine timing, radical self-overcoming. So it's like time for you to really open this part of yourself up. It's time for you to let yourself play and not take things so seriously. So it seems like you may be getting that right. And also it's time to be grateful for what you do have and for the time that you did have with the feminine energy that you may have lost. You are getting a good amount of exercise, you're remaining active, you're expressing yourself, your individuality, not afraid to be who you really are. You have healed many things along this path. You are a healer, or you have a healer that you work with. So this feminine aspect needing to be healed, it could be showing up in friendships, money, and beauty issues. Like, that's where you wanted to go into more depth, right? You didn't want it to be all about more shallow things, I think. Or if you did before, you don't now. Like I said, I know you do expect that there will be a positive outcome. You do understand that this is a process. And I think you are willing to share your creative energy, express creatively. You are a very kind person, which is wonderful because you're not dishonoring yourself with your kindness. You are also able to express who you are and still be kind about it. More about divine timing and emotional creation. Interesting. So, emotional creation and creativity comes from the feminine energy. So look at how you're using this energy, and there may be something where it's inhibited because it's all directed for the purpose of serving others, and you're running yourself dry with not filling up your own cup first. And this feels like it's been going on and on and on, and because you understand that being in service is a divine thing, you may not understand that being in service can only be right when you are first serving your own body. Like, you have to have an agreement with your own body and your own self and your own energy to maintain it to its highest. And then you have what it takes to give to others. So this feminine aspect of you may not be able to receive. You're maybe just so giving that you haven't been able to receive. And there may be a time in your childhood that you were taught that it wasn't safe to receive. Maybe there were strings attached with what you received as a child. Maybe every time you received something, it was taken away or broken, or you were punished for being in joy and having fun. And maybe that's why when you are having fun now, there is a part of you that feels guilty for it, that feels like something's off. So that's why the reassurance about having fun and being in play. Inspired by him. So is there someone that you maybe admire, but you'd like to be inspired by instead, which is a higher way of using that energy where you embody for yourself what you see in another. Something you like and see in another, it exists in you. So maybe you have somebody in your life that you can witness that you see as very balanced in giving and receiving. Or perhaps it was the masculine in your family that inspired you to be so selfless and giving. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's something the masculine caregiver told you about how you should behave. Or maybe you were punished when you were expectant or something like that, and so you gave up on that completely. Ask for what you want. Yeah, a lot of people around you probably have been dying to give to you, and you're not receiving, so they don't know what to give you. And this isn't really fair or balanced or right to your friendships. And I think that your money will also suffer as a result of it. You'll see that you stay stagnant in your money when you can't give as well as receive. Okay, so then we have a card about kind of ask and you shall receive. So as a practice for this feminine energy, start having conversations with spirit. Ask for what it is you want, not just to the people around you, but to spirit. Ask for answers. Ask for things to be explained to you. Get in the practice of receiving energy, feelings, knowings, prompts, intuitive nudges, inner urges. Get comfortable with receiving those things, and that will make it easier for you to receive, or at least receive guidance to help you through the times where it's difficult for you to receive from outside of yourself. Okay? Okay. Very interesting. Okay, pick 2. That is your reading. That is information to reflect on. Just take what's helpful to you and leave the rest. And I want to thank you for spending your time with me. We'll see you in another one. Pick 3. You chose the obsidian. So, actually, the pick 2 was obsidian too, but that was a pyramid. You chose the rough obsidian. Okay, just to be clear. And let's take a look at what we have here. 4 of Cups in reverse, Page of Swords, Empress, I think after you picked yourself up after a time of disappointment and you have wisdom gained to go forward and perhaps even like secure your finances. You might be going through disappointment currently and trying to stay positive. You might be separating from a King of Pentacles or something. Or the King of Pentacles might be watching you when you're not paying attention. Alright, just take what resonates. A divine mystery, yeah. Like, that's what I felt like. I wasn't allowed to know fully. Ascended Master. Okay, so you're here to master something. You're here doing something difficult. It has to do with a relationship for sure. You're alchemizing, healing, transmuting pain. You are looking for and implementing creative solutions. You came to do this because you are equipped to do this. You know how to do this. You're very self-reliant, independent. You absolutely will be increasing your wealth. You are an explorer, perhaps willing to take a leap of faith. You are in a leadership role, or you are leading yourself. And I think you are leading a cause. Like, there's something that you're doing for sure here. You do have an agenda. You're very resourceful. And you have it within yourself what you need. So even if someone isn't there to support you, it seems like they're watching but maybe not supporting, or maybe they're thinking about supporting, but you have what you need. What may hold you back is some sort of guilt or shame about a situation, about a loss, about something you invested in that didn't pan out. Maybe you already know that any guilt or shame that arises as you go forward is there to be transmuted. I would think that you would know. But there is something that you're revisiting. I guess I'll put that right here. This is going to be hard to see. Ancient knowledge. You come here with ancient knowledge. There's a fresh perspective that you are utilizing. And a contract with another being. Yeah. So that King of Pentacles. He was in reverse while you are the Empress upright. There was disappointment in the past, but it seems like there's fresh. It's like there's a fresh start. You know that there's perfect timing. This is going to result in marriage if it doesn't involve marriage already. There is forgiveness that needs to happen. You may know that already. You may have done that already. So, what you're actually alchemizing is something that has been stuck energy. A pattern that needed to be alchemized. You came to do it because you used your ancient knowledge and higher wisdom to do so. This involves your dreams coming true. And you may even have dreams about this person or this mission or, where you've come from. You are following your dreams. You go forward fearlessly. Yeah, you absolutely have the energy of someone who's willing to go forward fearlessly. You became wise due to what happened in the past. That's why forgiveness, that's what happens after you do the forgiveness, right? You gain the wisdom. You become grateful for the experience and what it taught you. And that is, I think, what you or what the Empress has done here. And if you're the King of Pentacles, you're working towards that as well. You are equally capable. Both parties are equally capable. They came to do this together, so maybe, a scenario that played out was hurtful to one or both parties, and it needed to be worked through and brought into this alchemized state of a new beginning. Okay, so you were resolving kind of stuff that was stuck from probably previous incarnations. Work it out. Open heart. Yeah. An open heart is how you're going to be able to work it out. There may be car trouble for one or both. New beginning, fresh start. Look at that. And patience. Yeah, divine timing is at play. Car trouble means, I think that there's trouble with two coming together at this point, and it could be very practical, but it's requiring patience. It's requiring both parties to be patient at this time. Interesting. While this issue is worked on, while whatever issue is keeping these apart, which in a practical sense could look like car trouble, but in an energetic sense is something waiting to be alchemized. So car trouble correlates to energy of I'm having trouble moving forward, even though you have the energy to go forward fearlessly. So one party is ready, and the other party is unable to come forward at this time. One party knows that they have what it takes. They know that when they need to do something, they'll know what to do. That's one party. And prayer will help this situation. So one or both parties can indulge in prayer in order to help this situation. Prayer, to me, is when I am grateful for the assistance given to the situation. That puts me in a position of knowing it's already there and appreciating it being given. Okay, so if this rings true for you, I'm going to actually pull a few cards from my Fair Relating Reflection deck, because this is about a relationship. This is about a relationship where there was trouble in the past, where one party has alchemized that trouble for themselves, the other party is in process of doing so, and there will be a fresh start for these two parties. Be coming together, perhaps to work together. For some it could be for more. I just got a whoosh of dizziness when I said that, like, whoa. Inspiration instead of admiration. Honor instead of pride. So whatever you see in the other person that you might admire, it's actually in you too. So let it inspire you to that trait of your own. And then honor instead of pride means that we recognize that this was a process, that we don't have to hold ourselves to some sort of standard, that our value is dependent upon what we achieve or what we are successful with, that our value is inherent and that our process is honorable, including all of the steps that even looked like failure or hurt or whatever, because like our purpose was to alchemize. So we needed to know what to alchemize, and we weren't going to know that without stumbling in it and getting a little bit dirty, you know what I mean? Spend time alone. So while these parties are not together, there's patience, and time alone is valuable. Receive a deep breath. Do you love the totality of their existence or the fragments of them that cater to you? So this is an invitation to come into unconditional love, meaning this person doesn't have to do anything in order for you to hold space of knowing that they are where they're meant to be, and that they have the strength and resilience and what it takes, the tools needed to work through whatever it is that they need to alchemize on their side, including any car trouble. That someone doesn't need to live up to our expectations or conform to the outcome that we expect in order for us to love them. That we can allow freedom for all parties, including ourselves. The freedom that we want for ourselves, we extend to the others in our lives that whom we love. This could mean spend time alone, like without a group of people as well. Like these two parties need to spend time alone together instead of in a group if they've always only interacted in a group of people. There's like outside influences that may not be needed at this time in this new beginning. And then we got the blank card, so the rest is still unwritten, okay? This new start means fresh start. It means try again for that innocence, try again for that neutrality, try again for that coming together in a higher way that allows freedom for both, that allows the curiosity and innocence of a child having an experience with somebody whom they love. Love is a place we go to give, not get. When we give without expectation, and we give without attachment to an outcome. So if there was like a need to express that we learned something from the past situation and that we care about the other's feelings and that we don't want to continue to do things that hurt them, that might be a conversation that would be beneficial to something like this. That would be an alchemizing conversation, right? Okay. Beautiful. All right. that is just information to reflect on. So take what is helpful to you and leave the rest for someone else. Thank you for being here. Perhaps we'll see you in a future reading. Bye now.